Hey guys, Baduk here. So when you're in this situation after low approaching one of these 3-4 point corners and your opponent plays the diagonal or the knight's move, what do you usually play? I don't know about you guys, but I usually play the 2-space low extension here. And something I've been seeing a lot of for a long time now in Q level games is this attach. Sometimes I see it a little differently, like black will play something like this, allowing white to undercut the exposed underside, which I did make a video about a little while ago, maybe over a week ago or something, so you guys can check that out. But after this, when black realizes that it's a bit hard to get the base here or kind of awkward to add a second move here now, then they will attach here like this. But anyway, even just the direct attach without anything else, I see this a lot, but it's not really much of a Joseki. Yeah, so white is able to hane. If you extend down, then white can get the next move, such as pressing you, extending away, tenuki, even pincer sometimes. Because look at the eye space here, there's almost none of it. Black can play like this, but especially with the diagonal there, white can actually cut all the way through, which is going to be not so happy for black here. And there is actually a very, very old Joseki that was like something like this and this, but black is actually pretty inefficient here. You see, there's 3 stones in a row, and despite spending 3 stones, black barely can say they even have like 2 points here. So yeah, it's not really Joseki. And here's the problem with the attach and extend down, okay? Imagine that black played here. Like imagine we have a normal position like this, and let's just say white extends. By the way, white can also play nothing, which is really common. Like for me, I would usually go all the way here and try to build this up big. Yeah, even if black comes around here, white can always take the corner if they need, and vice versa. So we have Mii, right, for playing a kick at A to take the corner, or some kind of extension. And there's also other things like pressing. Sometimes you can even let black get 2 moves in a row and still handle it. So this is a very flexible position here that is pretty defensively sound. You don't really need to keep playing from it. But anyway, so imagine that white is just like this, and eventually later in the game, black plays here. Now, after that, probably white doesn't play anything, right? White plays bigger moves. White's going to look for moves that are equivalent in size to this one, right? Rather than just automatically responding. That would be an amazing gain for black if white just responds right away and then black plays somewhere else. Because if black hadn't played first, white would have gotten so much more compared to this, right? So, you know, as always, we shouldn't just respond to everything our opponent plays. After black plays here, this next white move must be much smaller than the black move, because this black move is in place of white playing here. And white obviously has a lot more here than here. Okay, with that said, eventually white might come back to this and play it. Again, we're talking about late middle game. And this move does have a high point value when it comes to like endgame, right? Like it's going to be a much bigger move than it looks, just like a lot of second line moves. It's going to have follow-up value, which contributes to its actual total value. It's also going to have some, at least locally, it's going to have some reverse sente value, which is like if black plays here and white blocks, black still gets all this later. And it's a lot of territory difference compared to, you know, white getting this move, which prevents all that and stops black from getting points here. And maybe white even gets this one, and you know, so yeah, that's second line moves, right? They're much bigger than they look, often 10 points or more. But let's imagine this happened. Okay, so eventually white comes back here. Are you really going to play this move as black? How many points do you get from putting a stone there, right? So if we change the order of moves, let's just focus locally and forget the whole game context, right? Locally, if white plays here, if black's going to continue, black's going to push at least, which actually, you know, affects the territory. Not really here, letting white have this one or white play away, right? Again, after white plays here, black really should play away in most cases, but locally the next move will be here. So it's much better to play this move. That way, if white plays this, you can ignore it. And if white doesn't play that, you have this kind of follow-up. This move's actually very big. I think more than 10 points. So yeah, like I said, I already explained that there's a lot of, if you guys want to know about move values, especially second line moves and understanding territory a lot better, I do have a lot of classes on that in the nearly 70 or so class videos for the Benkyo study group, which is Patreon tier 2. We do live group classes, usually 3 times a month for about an hour and a half. And then, of course, it contributes to the video library, which is, yeah, I think around, anyway, 60 something videos so far as of posting this. And if you join Benkyo League tier 3, which gives you a whole bunch of things like league play, awesome community, side events, league prizes, which is lesson time with me, game reviews from me, and you can get from stronger players as well. Benkyo League actually comes with all the study group stuff, which is the classes, the class videos, etc. So there's quite a lot of videos on move values and stuff like that. So you would actually understand really just how big these moves are, which really provides a lot of help in deciding, for example, moves that are more in the middle or more of ambiguous value. Because even if you're thinking of playing a move of unknown value, you're not sure, you get to compare it to those big second line moves. And if you know that certain edge moves are like 10 points, 12 points, 15 points, you can ask yourself, oh, is this whatever move, right? Is it bigger than 15? Question mark, right? So at least you can weigh it against something concrete, since you and I, we can never really count how many points something like this is worth, or, you know, jumping with some group in the center, or, you know, whatever, right? Some cut, some connect. Yeah. They also make really good when in doubt moves, by the way. Like, you don't know what to play, there's no weak groups, there's no big moyos, and we're late in the game, then just play a second line move, because it, you know, it can be 10 points, 12 points, really big stuff. So I hope you guys can understand what I mean. Like, if you play like this, then white gets this one for free because you have to respond now, right? And that C18 is actually worth a lot. Whereas if you play here, we don't know who's going to get C18 now, right? You might get this one. So in fact, it's more likely maybe that black gets this than white gets C18, because this one at least threatens the white territory jumping in. Now, there is also another white move here. And if black cuts like this, then white can cut. And you see, thanks to that stone, even if the stone wasn't there, though, we could also cut and basically lock black inside and force black to make 2 eyes like this. So that just depends on if it's okay to give the corner to damage black's outside. So that's like a whole video by itself, this 2-2 move. You know, you're welcome to request that, but I'll leave that out for now. Yeah. Anyway, so the point is that this stone here at C17 is worth a lot less than the C18 stone, which is actually affecting territory. So it's not a very good idea to attach to this one most of the time. There are special cases, but that's situational. You would rather play here, but this one's also a little weird because you can get pressed, pincered, etc. So usually we start out with something like this. Yeah. How about the knight's move? Pretty similar. Because white is a bit less solid, it is a bit better for black when, for example, if they play here, usually it's better for white, but at least it's not as bad as this one where white can actually cleanly cut all the way through like this because there's no cut here. Whereas this one, although this is usually a little bit better for white in most general kind of generic cases, because white can get a lot of outside and black is very, you know, pancaked here. And still white has like moves like this to bother black with, peeping, connect can be sente if that is sometimes better. And white sort of does have the option to play this, although it's a little complicated. So yeah, there's also this move, there's also cut. Still, usually we play away like this, or even in the case of the knight's move, this is also played. Although white can undercut us like this, it's kind of annoying, so I wouldn't do it. Maybe if black already has some stuff there, then yeah, we can go high. But, you know, try to like not let yourself get undercut so often without a good reason, right? You don't want to just volunteer that all the time. But yeah, this move, you know, even when they stretch out with the knight's move, still this move is fine. And even Tanuki is possible, but I don't recommend it unless you know how to handle, you know, running around and getting pincered, running around with the weak group. So there's nothing wrong with just responding. Yeah, even with this one, right? In high level games, it's decently popular to also ignore white's move. For me personally, I like to play a little simpler in the opening and have a strong foundation, and then, you know, wait till later to spice things up more and just wait for white's mistakes, my opponent's mistakes. So I prefer this move. A lot of other like people stronger than myself also even prefer this move, like professional players, for example. So yeah, it's simple. It's kind of defensive looking, but it's good and it's fine. So that's the local continuation. You know, I see this a lot in Q level games, but in high level games, it's usually this one. One more thing I see in usually like weak SDK and strong DDK, I see this strange bumping, which, except for special cases, is usually bad because black just goes in and eats into more of your corner. And what did you really gain with that stone? Enough people keep playing this that I realized that there must be something about this making people think it works or think it's good. So I thought I would address it real quick here. A lot of people back off and somehow like believe in it, and then white gets to play here. But no, you can actually just go forward. And what did white get? They got nothing from that. Yeah. In some cases, there's special ways for white to use the thinness now of your shape because the stone is there, but that's like certain cases. And also, if you don't know it, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, you know, don't defend against things that you don't actually see clearly. That's like you're running around punching ghosts that they don't exist, but everyone's looking at you weird on the street, right? That's honestly really important advice. I'll just throw it in there for Go in general, right? If you guys defend against things that you think, oh, there might be something scary in here. Oh, they're stronger than me. There must be some crazy thing they can do. Like, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to hold back your own play and your own improvement, because you're also, in case there was something, you're depriving yourself of the chance to be exposed to it. And most of the time you're just throwing away points for no reason, because usually there's nothing anyway. So like, unless you see something white can do here, then why wouldn't you just take more points? It's a huge points difference compared to this. White's local moves are either attaching or this one. And attach, you need to be prepared for what if black does this. Okay. I think that's honestly about it. I think that's good. If you guys have questions, I'll be happy to answer those. Please like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.